Thank you, gentlemen. Presentations. First off, I think I have a recognition here for somebody that was here before. Mr. Trevino, if you wouldn't mind stepping up to the podium real quick. So I think Marisol and you warned us that you were going to get an award and you recognized. So we're glad that you took us up on coming by, because this is definitely something that needs to be recognized. So I'm going to read a recognition for Mr. Orlando Trevino. Orlando Trevino Spread Transition 18 Plus program at Mercedes High School, Mercedes, Texas. The impact a teacher has on their students can last much longer than their time together in the classroom. Orlando has been instrumental in helping students with special needs and gain independence and prepare for a life outside of high school, playing a significant role in developing the SPED Transition 18 Plus program. He ensures that the students who have met graduation requirements but need more opportunities to gain life skill have a chance to do so by teaching them job readiness, activities of daily living, and social emotional coping skills. This was brought to our attention by Ms. Marisol Gonzalez, and Mr. Trevino, I can't tell you, I think we were having a conversation, several of us in there, when I was told about this. I have a couple of people in my family that are special needs. And one of my nephews is actually staying with me right now. He has Asperger's syndrome. And when you first get told of that, he was the same age as my youngest son. So when you first hear about that, the first thing in your head is, how are they going to function and how are they going to do in life? Well, thanks to people like you, my nephew, and thank God there's people like that all over the place, because he went to the Round Rock system. And like some of your students that I've seen a benefit from it here in our area, he's able to drive, he's able to function, he went to college, just we're very proud of what he's done. And that couldn't be possible if it wasn't for people like you that put their emotion, their time, their effort to go the extra mile. And so on behalf of the City of Mercedes, thank you. We appreciate you and we recognize you for that. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Before we take the pictures of all of us up here with you, you do all the work, we get to take a picture with you.
Right.
We'd like for you to say a few words, and I don't know if you have family members here you'd like to introduce.
Sure, yes. First I have almost my beautiful wife, Mama Trevino, who supports me in all my endeavors and everything I have to, and sharing me with Mercedes and our students and so forth. So thank you. And to my mother-in-law, who's always has been a big supporter in my life. I always joke and say that I'm her second favorite son-in-law. And my wife's the only child.
That's awesome.
And to my mother and father, Mac and Norma, thank you for raising me and to be compassionate and empathetic, and to share a love of education and just people and being a good person. And to my beautiful daughter, Tatiana, for being here, and to my son-in-law, Jonathan. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
And
I want to thank your parents too for raising you. Appreciate it.
a lot of hard work.
I bet.
That was, but the persistence they showed in me is what I show in having the patience and stuff with our students as well. But I would also like to thank you all for recognizing me, but more so my students. I believe in winning this award. It was a national award, and I got to represent Mercedes at a national conference, and it was one of the biggest honors of my life. And not only because it was for me, it was because I believe it was a reflection of Mercedes and the people here and the students. And so to me, that was just the biggest honor in doing that. And when I get to tell people that when I got to ask for permission for more jobs to work at the library at City Hall, and how you all enthusiastically were supportive, and they were just blown away. And to them, it was almost foreign, and so I want to thank you for that, and for the opportunity for my students to grow. And they started this summer working at the library. They loved it. again, thank you for that opportunity, and it just shows once again that when the city and the school district works together, you know, we're able to produce some amazing students, and we had, one of my students graduated, from my program this, year, and he finished, he was able to finish up his, certificate, to become a security guard.
Oh, wow.
So he just applied, and hopefully he gets picked up by the school district, one that we approved, so that he can get back as well. And my students were excited, and to know that, you know what, we can do it. And there was, you know, they just want to contribute to society and, to their families, and just be part of Mercedes. You won't find a bigger Tigers fan anywhere else, you know, they're all Mercedes Tigers, and, they're very proud of it. And I'm not for Mercedes, but I feel that I have been grafted into Mercedes, and so I just want to thank you all, the people out there, for accepting me in front of your own, and the orange now, and it's gonna hurt my family, but
It is what it is, sir.
it is. So my colors are orange and black now, and I'm very proud to be part of Mercedes and the community, and to be making a difference, and alongside you all as well with your time here in the city and so forth. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, we appreciate you. Before we get in the middle, if anybody got anything to want to say?
Just very few words. One, he's a co-worker of mine, and I can tell you that the word that comes to my mind is a hanak, which is a Hebrew Arabic word for dedication. And sir, I've seen you work throughout the years. You've been teacher of the year as well before. The dedication that you put into your students and your dedication to the community, and like you were talking about, the reflection. Not only are you a reflection of what you do, but you're a reflection of the type of teachers, the type of dedication that we have as a staff at Mercedes ISD, and the type of parents and the love that we have. And I think with that, being involved with the community and the school, there's a lot of great things that will happen and can happen, will continue to happen. So congratulations again, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hall, well said. I'll let the record reflect that Commissioner Martinez is present. Is there anybody else who'd like to say anything? Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, but again, I think it's well-deserved recognition. Thank you, and if you wouldn't mind coming up so we can present you with our thank you medal. And again, with one of those and $2.
If you see, I know you're a Star Wars fan.
All right.
You know what they do? Put it on the medal on Luke.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And thank you to all the family for coming up. I don't think anybody can do what they do without the support of your family. So God bless each and every one of you, and thank you, and especially for showing up here. I know city meetings can be exciting, so. So we have item 5B, proclamation for Miss Berta Hinojosa. So the family is not able to be here, and rightfully so. Miss Hinojosa is unable to travel. But we still nonetheless want to read out this proclamation on her and her accomplishment of reaching her 100th birthday and a whole lot of other things. Before I read this, I still remember when I was a kid. I don't know if you all remember the whole midnight mass. Back in the day, it was a big deal, and people would have coffee and hot chocolate and buñuelos and stuff. And my parents were pretty smart. I don't think they ever did one. We just went to other people's houses. And we ate all the stuff, but we went to their houses. And And you could always count on the Hinojosas to have something at their house. So I spent many of Christmases there and at different families' houses eating buñuelos and hot chocolate. So. But anyway, I'm reading City of Mercedes, a proclamation. Whereas we honor Miss Elida Lea Hinojosa as she celebrates her 100th birthday. And whereas born on August 14, 1923, the youngest and only living of 9 children, and whereas during a long and productive lifetime, she has demonstrated in countless ways her dedication to the welfare of others and has earned the respect and affection of many nieces, nephews, family, and friends. And whereas she has lived during the most eventful century of this world's history and has been a force for good and a stabilizing influence in her community. And whereas in consideration for Miss Elida Lea Hinojosa, longevity of life spanning a century of experience and growth, do hereby take official note of the joyous occasion. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Oscar Montoya, Mayor of the City of Mercedes, and the City Commission, along with the people of Mercedes, do hereby extend to Miss Hinojosa my sincere congratulations on achieving this milestone in her life, and further wish her all of the best and continued health and happiness in the years to come. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Mercedes to be affixed this 21st day of August 2023. And so happy 100th birthday, Miss Hinojosa. Just for anybody who's watching out there and for the commission and the people up here, we're pending a date so that I can deliver this to her at her home with her family there, enjoying the festivities like you all did here, but we'll do it over there at her house. So thank you all very much, and happy birthday, Miss Hinojosa, if she's listening. Okay, moving on to open forum. Do we have anybody signed up for open forum? Okay, go. Yeah. Nothing? Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, I announced them. Yeah, I announced them after Commissioner House. Moving on to, did you get that, Russell? When I announced Commissioner Murphy? Thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, consent agenda.
Mayor, make a motion to approve the minutes of July 18, 2023, August 10, 2023.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Mayor Pro Tem Saldana. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 8, ordinance resolution. I have approval of resolution 2023-17 in support of the One Region, One Voice initiative. And of course, we would need to.
Mayor, I make a motion to go ahead and approve the resolution 2023-17 in support of One Region, One Voice, and I do have a discussion.
And then forego the actual reading. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Howell. Discussion, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was reading over the initiative, and I gotta be honest with you, a lot of it makes a lot of sense. I do have a concern, though, on section 3, which calls for the city to pledge and provide financial and logistical support and partnership. We have an idea of what that would look like, or how much we're talking about, or is all this still?
So the idea of this is still in the future.
Okay.
This is just kind of setting the stage for us to speak in one. So some of the stuff that are coming up is like making a commercial for the Rio Grande Valley and stuff like that. So now the benefit of it being the Rio Grande Valley is that there's 22 cities to divide it up amongst, and the counties, and, well, I'm sorry, 47 cities and 3 counties to divide it up again amount. So I don't think the financial inputs are going to be much, but that hasn't been lined out yet. This is just saying that in the future, and we'll have a voice in it as well.
For sure. I think we can all agree on the initiative. I agree with Governor Abbott when he said that Texas is tomorrow being built here in the Rio Grande Valley. So I think we should support the initiative and get behind it all the way.
If I may, they've already reached out to us, the partnership, and as an example, they'd like to bring some, investors and realtors through, where they might need a bus tour, they wanna show Mercedes to them, that's in the future. So that might be something that's becoming out of the city mostly, it's only for the city of Mercedes.
Anyone? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, just to add to what's getting said, we had a very good meeting with the county judge and with a lot of his staff, and we got to, it was a couple hours long, but it's I guess what goes with a resolution, the discussion there about all of the cities coming together in such a way where we're not picking each other apart, we're not competing, that it's sort of a unified effort regionally to bring in industry to the area and understand that advancing the goals of the region need to be at least as important, if not important, than our own individual cities. And so I think it's a great idea. And I really applaud the county judge's efforts in this regard, along with others. If there's financial commitments that come, I guess we can cross those bridges when they come. But I just, you know, we talked a lot about the brain drain from the valley and some of the young people that leave our region for opportunities elsewhere. And I think we're at a tipping point in our area where the opportunities for people to stay are just as good as the opportunities there are to leave. And so I really like that, and I really like the positive nature of the effort. So I don't want to belabor this too much, but I think for those that are wondering what this is all about, I'm looking forward to the marketing and to the good things that will happen for our region, because there's lots of opportunity. We're growing leaps and bounds, and if you put us all together, it's close to 2 million people and a huge economic impact in 2 countries, and all the trade that goes through here. I mean, if we do it right, we can really benefit from something like this.
Anybody else?
I would just, my 2 cents are, I think it's great overall. If the valley grows, obviously Mercedes will grow. We have plenty of brownfields, greenfields available. Mercedes is on the rise.
So just in closing real quick, so that and I'm glad you brought that up, Mayor Pro Tem. Maybe we should explain a little bit, but so I'm gonna just put it in a nutshell. First of all, we need to applaud or thank Ramiro Garza, the mayor of Edinburgh, for spearheading this, along with the people from the group that helped out, and because the undertaking was one, and make no mistake, the competition between the cities is always gonna be there. The thing is that we're competing at the wrong time. We're fighting and tearing ourselves apart before somebody even gets here. So they're staying away from the area. So what this does, it's saying, look, let's tell all the people out there outside of the valley what the valley has as a whole to offer. Now, once they come, then it's gonna be, hey, I need 50 acres, or I need 10, or how much water do you got? And that's why we have to be on the cutting edge and continue to invest in our city. But make no mistake, it's gonna make us better, because now there's gonna be actually a real company that's looking to go somewhere, and then we're gonna have to, it's gonna push us to make better investments and wiser moves and stuff like that. So when you have good, solid, fair competition, it puts you in a much better market group. And before, it was not like that. You know, somebody would hear about whatever, I'll make it up, a Coke company wanting to build or a soda company wanting to build here, and then everybody start fighting for that company. Instead of convincing that soda company, hey, we've got a vast area and 2 million people to put it together for you and land for it and all that, we weren't doing that before. And that's why we're pooling our resources, our time, and the idea is to go after these people and say, you need land on the expressway, Mercedes has it. You need workforce, you know what, Edinburgh has it, and Harlingen does, and then you start working like that, and so that's the whole idea of it. But yeah, to also what Commissioner Martinez was saying, Governor Abbott was there, the several leaders, there was 47 mayors, all 47 mayors of the Rio Grande Valley were there. It was Stark County, Hidalgo County, Willacy County, and Cameron County. And everybody was represented and was represented well. The conversations were very cohesive. The reporting, the talking, the signing of the proclamation up there with the governor was 100%, and nobody backed out. So just to give you all a report card on it. So. All right, well, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimous, and thank you all for the patience and for the vote on that. Moving on to item B, approval of first reading of ordinance 2023-07, rezone Garden Park Lot 11, Block 19 from Class B 2-family residential to Class B business applicant, and this is by Mr. Vargas.
Mayor, I make a motion to go ahead and forego the reading and approve the ordinance 2023-07.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez,
Discussion.
second by Mayor Pro Tem Saldana. Discussion, go ahead, Mayor.
Yes, Mayor, I had a chance to take a look at this. The way I understand it is, this is the corner property over there on Vermont frontage. I believe they're trying to expand on the little convenience store there. I just wanted to just make an emphasis that this commission has always supported small local businesses. I applaud the owner for wanting to invest in expanding the business, and I don't see why we shouldn't approve this ordinance. I think it's a good thing for that little area. It's a good thing for the business owner. So, I'm behind it 100%.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item C, approval of first reading of ordinance 2023-8 to rezone Mercedes Original Town Site, Lot 6, Blocks 21 from Class B to 2-family residential to Class C apartment. Applicant Mercedes Metro Investments by Mr. Mark Bamberg.
Mayor, I make approval to approve and forego the first reading of the ordinance 2023-08.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Discussion? Did you want to add something?
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Yes, I'd like to add that this is part of the effort to clean up our zoning boundaries in the city. Mr. Vandenberg, he's done several projects across the city now, multifamily projects mostly. And like this one, I believe it was already a duplex, and he was renting another space out, but if you look at the ordinance, you're really, at the zoning ordinance, which was a 2-family resident, you're not supposed to do that. So, Mr. Vandenberg came in, he wanted some upgrades to his electrical service, wanted to divide that up into the 4 apartments that he has now. And we told him that yes, we would work with him, but if he would, please work with us in cleaning up these zoning boundaries in the city. So he applied to rezone to make it a multifamily. So he can, and then we added the parking requirement, so now he's gonna have to pave. Nobody ever had to enforce that, or nobody ever enforced that in the city, even though there was up to 3 families living on this property. Now we're, it's part of the effort as people come in to request another electric meter, or in this case, I think he wanted another address for that electric meter. That's when we catch it, and we try to check off all the boxes and make sure everything's in order.
All right, well, we appreciate you and Mr. Vandenberg for working
Yes.
together on this. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item D, approval of first reading of ordinance 2023-09 to rezone South Campaquas, addendum E 101.80, West 316.80, North CLN foot lot 136, 1.06 acres from Class B business to Class C apartment district. Applicant is Joe and Maida Pajares.
I make the motion to approve, Mayor, with forego the reading.
All right, I have a motion by
Second,
Commissioner
discussion.
Howell, second by Commissioner Martinez. And I don't know, if you have something you want to tell us about it first, or?
Yes, this is Mr. Pajares. He's the property owner adjacent to Tacolandia, the new Tacolandia. And he was very gracious with the owner of Tacolandia in the city, and allowed, he gave the city several easements to run additional services like sewer for Tacolandia and for his future development there. What he allowed us to do there will serve his property too. So it is zoned as business, so he wants to do commercial in the front, but he has a few acres, and he wants to do some apartments in the back. And again, just to keep everything in order, let's just draw a line there so So everything's delineated, it's an apartment zone in the back and a commercial in the front, and that's the plan.
Goes to show that area is already paying off. Thanks for that. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, there was a mention somewhere about the northern half acre of the property, I guess, which was zoned into a particular deal. Is that the one right off of Old 83?
Yes,
And I think it was broken up into different sections, right, something like that?
that's what we're doing now.
Okay,
We're breaking it up into several, like, he already has apartments in the back.
okay.
He wants to do commercial in the front, and he wants to do more apartments around the middle of the property.
So you're saying that front part is what you're talking about right off of Old 83, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, I mean, not that I didn't wanna stop it, it's just, you know, I thought that we were probably looking at that particular area for possible economic development. But I don't know if maybe the apartments can go hand in hand.
so the apartments will go in the back, the front will still be,
Commercial.
That's gonna stay.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
sorry,
what it's-
sorry.
Got it.
Yes, sorry, that's what we're, yes, sir.
Which is probably the way things are going nowadays everywhere, right?
Yes.
Commercial in the front.
Everybody wants to.
I just wanted to make sure, because I know that we were looking to continue that expansion of economic development in that area.
Yes, I'm sorry, but.
Okay, yes, sir.
Commissioner Saldana?
So there's it's kind of a long, narrow piece, and in the ordinance, it identifies 1.06 acres. So we're taking what is essentially a commercial, property, and this is just applies to the rear half then, or?
Yes, the rear, because he already has apartments in the back, so now he's gonna build some around the middle, and he's gonna leave the front for some.
Okay, because the diagram here has it going all the way to Business 83, but that's just the property in question, not necessarily what we're approving.
Well, we're improving mixed use, right?
Yes, yes, it's a mixed use, that's what we're, that's what we're.
Before he could only do business, now he can do
Apartments and.
apartments or.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes,
got it.
sorry for that.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item E, public hearing regarding the proposed budget FY 23-24. It is 6:58 PM, and I now open the public hearing. We'll have 3 minutes. Please pay attention to anybody who may wanna chime in on the internet, and we'll start right now. We'll end at 7:01 PM. If anybody wants to use the facilities right now. Okay, there's been nobody that's called in or anybody to show up. So I now call this public hearing to an end and move on to item F, approval of first reading and second reading as per section 2.13 of the city charter to adopt emergency ordinance 2023-10 to adopt the city of Mercedes budget for FY 23-24.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the first and second reading.
Okay, and that's foregoing the readings.
We're going to read the first.
Yeah, motion by Commissioner Martinez, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Howell. Any discussion? I'm sorry? I need to poll everybody, right? All right, so, sorry, it's a record vote, so nobody gets to, it's gotta be all or nothing, so raise your hands if you're voting for it. So, Commissioner Howell,
For the budget.
all right? Commissioner Garcia, approve. Commissioner Saldana, Mayor Pro Tem,
Vote aye.
and Commissioner Martinez.
So vote aye.
Watching the 15 cop shows, or I've been watching Suits also, you know. And Mayor Montoya, I vote aye as well. All right, so it's a unanimous approval of first, second reading for the budget. Bids and contacts, number 9, bids and contracts. I have present, discuss, consider, possibly take action regarding approval to ratify the interlocal cooperative agreement between the city of Wesco, the city of Mercedes for the housing of prisoners.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the ratification of the interlocal agreement. And I do have a question, discussion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Discussion, go ahead, Commissioner Martinez.
So for the most part, the terms seem to be relatively the same, Chief?
Yes.
As far as the.
That's correct.
concerned. I do know that this is a one-year agreement. What is our expectancy on the building though, seeing, I mean, is this gonna have any effect if the building, let's say hypothetically is done before the end of this period? Are we able to opt out of the contract, or how will that work?
I still have a 30-day clause.
Yeah, 30 days. Okay. What is the expectancy on the building, by the way, just out of curiosity?
To be done,
Yes, sir.
we're looking at sometime in October. I smile because.
Yeah, well,
Not willing in the.
45 days.
Right.
something to help Harold or Harvey or what's the name of it?
No, but I just want people to understand why we invested in this building, because you're talking about $54 prisoner per day. Right? So when you kind of tally that up over the year, that's pretty pricey.
And the loss of the officer to deliver him, bring him back, take him to
Right.
bring him back. Yeah.
And release one out of the city to go out of Wesco.
What's that?
We lose one out of the city to go to Wesco.
Yeah.
So
But I think it's
we
important.
are,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
we are getting numbers to the city manager, just in case for the future reference, so that he can present to you all regarding, the housing of the prisoners here.
Sure. I think it's just that we should emphasize that we are looking forward to opening up the PD, but in the meantime, this is a necessary, situation that we have to approve.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Now, assuming the PD gets finished in October,
Yes,
that does not necessarily compel us to end the contract. We could keep it going
Yes, that's right.
until we know we're on pretty solid ground, because there's no cost if we don't send them anyone,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
So we can maintain the agreement for several months afterwards.
no penalty.
Even for an entire year, I don't see the
It'll be
reason
better.
to cut it off.
At least you give them that 30-day notice at the end of your.
Right, right.
Yes, sir.
Revert that.
So to me, that's a pretty good deal, and $54 may seem like a lot, but a lot cheaper than having your own jail.
And I have to say that Chief Rivera has been working really good with our team, and the way they treat us when we go over there or anything. They also help us out sometimes, usually all the time, to transport to county jail.
Yeah.
So him and his staff have been really great.
So keep in mind,
That's when we can still come pick them up here and take them for us.
and the other prisoner, it's a 24/7 operation. It's not like you go home and they stay by themselves. So be aware that you're gonna incur some charges from having staff there.
Sure.
Taking care of them and feeding them.
So it's not like the Andy Griffith show, you just leave them overnight.
Normally, I would be against this type of spending, however, it's a necessary evil, unfortunate, because of the situation we're in. However, I know once our building, I mean, there's gonna be large savings, and our community is looking forward, and our police department for this building.
I just, but,
And I think it gives us the option of easing into this PD building, you know, without, because, it's one thing to build it, it's another thing to fully furnish it, to staff it, and operate it and all of that, so that gives us some options, I think.
Yes, sir.
I wanna close on this, and I know this has to do, I guess we're kind of on the topic, but I just wanna make sure that we make something clear with all these discussions. Once you do those numbers, it's not gonna equal to what it cost us to fix this building. But, so we don't wanna get lost on that. But to have a city that has unsecured a location for some of the serious offenders that we do have, to have a city our size that can't keep its own evidence, to have a city our size that doesn't have a place to interview somebody or take somebody who just lost a family member and everybody's stepping over that person because we don't have any space because we're in a mobile home. The citizens of Mercedes deserve much better than that.
Correct.
And so do our employees. So that's the message for the people. And I'd love to put in here and say to everybody, oh, you know, we're gonna save all the money it's gonna cost us. No, we're not. What we're getting is what we as a city deserve. And I don't think we can stress enough. When I walked over there, I had only been described what y'all's temporary building was like. And I feel bad that you guys are even gonna leave that and we're gonna put somebody else there. Because that place just is not a secure environment for any type of law enforcement or emergency type situation. And like I said, I think our citizens deserve better. And all I can tell you on behalf of the commission, for anybody that has questions, we scrutinized, we looked, our staff did, we have done everything possible to keep the costs down and still give the citizens what they deserve. And that should be our message.
And Mayor, if I may, most of the people that we've spoken to before in the past, they're actually excited that the police department is gonna be a lot more centralized, so with the large popularity of that, it means a lot to us to come right back centralized in town.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item B, approval of fiscal year 2023-24 interlocal agreement with City of Mercedes and the County of Hidalgo Urban County Program.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have, does the amount stay the same on this? Or is this just whatever moving forward?
These are the same amounts that we've presented before, no changes.
Were you gonna say something?
If y'all had any questions, I believe Mayor Pro Tem had some questions. Mayor Pro
Oh,
Tem.
man, I apologize.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. I'll break the little rule for you. It's a great one,
It just, I don't wanna turn this into a seminar or anything, but,
Let me talk about Urban County. Let me tell y'all what Urban County is.
we have 4 years to spend the money, right?
Amen.
Yes, sir.
And then we have to commit those funds by the end of next year, somehow or another, right?
Yes.
And then there's something like a 1.5, tell me about the 1.5 and what does that mean?
So as we get more monies every fiscal year, we can't have more than 1.5 times of what we've been allotted in 1 year. So we gotta
Okay, I
spend
You have to spend it.
half, right? Is it half? I'm sorry, I'm trying to do the math. So when we get into the next fiscal year,
So we have to spend it 25, 25, 25, 25, but we can't exceed 1.5 of that 25.
oh, yes, of what we get.
25 plus another 50% of what that is.
Correct.
And then,
Yes.
and then, okay, so, let's see,
That's
hopefully I'll
like-
remember that this time next year.
That's like the 50% of 1% of 1%.
There you
Oh,
go.
that one, yeah.
Okay, and then I was kind of scrolling through here trying to figure it out because my memory fails, but I was looking through some of the projects and we have very similar things that we're funding with that, but one of those projects is Virginia from Business 83 down to, I think, 10th. I may not be misspeaking. We have 10th Street from Garza to 491, correct?
Correct. So this one is gonna, if I may, this one, that is gonna change, and all of that is gonna go to 10th Street. That's, the amount stays the same, but the project is gonna be one project. That's a 10th Street project, these funds.
Basically, Tenth Street will consume the funds that are.
Because we already have commitments for Beach and Ash, with the Capisayo project. We've done what we've needed at Virginia for now, which was part of this plan. We've taken care of that in-house, and what's left is 10th Street. So we'll put all the monies into 10th
And if
Street.
it doesn't violate the rules, council, when does that start? Smiley face. Soon. Soon.
We're gonna meet, soon. We're gonna meet with the precinct one again here, this week. They promised me they'd meet with us this week to go over that.
We've been following up with the county.
Right.
It's not that we-
Right, and I understand they got a long list of things too, and
Yeah,
we
so,
appreciate
but
that.
he's been pressing him for, we just need to know when, and
Yeah.
And then get it scheduled.
yes,
And then that's football Friday to start.
yes. But it would be nice to have it done before the marathon.
The
comes
marathon.
Sure,
through,
sure.
Sometime in December, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, good use of funds, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just, so you think, mayor and a city manager and finances, do you think we'll be fine as far as, we won't be in a financial bind as far as spending these monies or anything?
No,
Like, in other words, because I know there's kind of, we're allocated, like you're saying, 50% of 50%, and so you think we're fine?
no, I think it's
Do we
good.
need to allocate
It
funds?
was all in the
for
budget,
certain
right?
things?
It's all in the,
Well, Urban County is different. Urban County, it goes through Urban County and they give us only what was allotted to us. That's it.
But as far as the spending and the time-wise, in other words, you guys,
I mean,
you think we're good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're good. We've had over the, we've had the bits of money left over from, up to the 4 years. We've been through that last year where we had maybe 20 from one year, 20 from another. That is fine, right? Because I think we get 265 a year, so that's not 1.5, 20,000.
I think his concern is, do we have enough money to do 10th
Well,
Street?
Yes,
I think
well,
that's-
I just wanna make
that's
sure
the-
we have a safety blanket if we needed to.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, and by the way, whenever we have money set up, for example, the back order because of the supply and demand issues that we've had with the recent economic downturn, where the playscapes have been in back order for the longest time. So that's why things get pushed into the following, not because
Yes.
we're not moving the project, but we're not getting the materials and we have to go through a process that Urban County approved.
Correct.
And so the improvements to HEB Park, the playground equipment and benches and all that, that's all part of
That was
that,
from-
and that will continue this next year.
And-
We'll make continued improvement.
And they manage the whole procurement process also, just so y'all know. It doesn't go through our finance department. We give them at least one bid and then they act like purchasers and go get the other two bids or write a scope and then put it out for a proposal. It's a more complicated project and get the engineering and everything that's
The
needed.
heavy lifting for us is identifying the project.
Yep.
That's our heavy lifting.
And being on track and, setting milestones and things like that.
Being ready for it.
Yes, sir.
All
All
right.
right, so the motion passed. Moving on to item 10, monthly department reports. Anybody got any questions or anybody want to tell us anything interesting? I know we have somebody new. We want to start with public works.
Mr. Olivia, you wanna step up, please?
Bring the contact resume.
So Mr. Olivia joined us, what, a week ago?
Today is officially 1 week, yes,
Yes, so it says second weekend, almost.
second week, yes.
Okay, we're working on that, so everything that goes right belongs to me, and what goes wrong in public works belongs to
Yes,
you.
LBJ said. LBJ said it's good, claim it, it's bad.
No, Mr. Olivia comes to us with a wealth of experience in managing. And so, he was selected for the position. He's gonna have to fill in some big shoes because there's big demands out there and requirements for that department. You know, they handle anywhere from parks, streets, water, and, utilities and so on and so forth. So, he hit the ground running. He's got some background also with, collections of, trash and all that. So he doesn't come to us with no experience at all. So, what, the little that he may not have been exposed to, he's gonna learn quickly, and he's already, been exposed to challenges and, goals and objectives.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I have a background as far as, I used to love to top trash. I don't anymore, but either way, I have a lot of goals. The department needs a lot of help, which is not an overnight. And, I took a challenge. First week was, I hit the ground with the boots and, there's a lot of work to be done. And it's not an overnight as well. So I have a lot of expectations, not only for myself, but for the employees itself. So, I come to work and, I told the city and I'm grateful that I was given an opportunity to begin with. And it's a big challenge. And like Mr. Pitt says, it's a project pretty much. That's the way I see it. But it's not, it can be done, in my view. So I'm here, there's some tasks that, I've already kind of handled and going forward as well, I'm gonna continue to do my best and I was hired to do something and to do some work and do some fixings. And there's plenty to do, and so just saying that, there's, of course, we got the storm coming along. We're prepared for that as well. We got two response teams already as well. We'll have one at the Public Works Department at the same time when they're there. It's a team of 4 of each. They'll be pinning out sandbags for the, especially to have the handicap. We're not gonna advertise that because then they'll be coming in right away and asking for those bags. And tomorrow we'll be getting another load of sand as well tomorrow morning. If we need any more bags, so we'll get some more bags. I come from, as far as a background, being that I was in solid waste, I was able to communicate with from Cameron County to Willacy to Star, especially here in Hidalgo. I'm from Donna, so I have a lot of communication with elected officials, city managers, public works directors, so I've already made contact with them. Let them know that I'll be working here if I need assistance from them, from equipment or anything else. They right away offer to help. So, that's one thing that for sure, any equipment that we don't have or anything that, we need, if they have it, there'll be access for it. As well as knowledge that I may not have, I'll be reaching out. So, there's a lot to do and I'm excited and I'm here. If there's any questions or, if there are any concerns, Mr. Pettis will let me know right away, and I'm here to serve and help the community as well. I already had my few run-ins with some residents as well, but it was taken care of. That's things that I'd like to, I don't want to come to the office or to you. Of course, you will be getting those calls, obviously, but I'm here to be the front of as far as the public works. So just saying that, there's a lot that I've, and there's some plans, and I'll be meeting with Mr. Pettis and going over, of course, with his approval, and support as well. So I don't know if there's any concerns or questions that you might have that I need to take care of.
Go ahead.
I just have first of all, I want to say welcome, congratulations on your appointment. We look forward to working with you and anything, our job as the mayor always says is to do everything within our power to support our departments and our department heads and all of the people that work to, further the goals of the city in such a way where we leave things better than we found them. And so, we look forward to good things happening and understand that patience is not something that comes easy to anybody, but it's we recognize the challenges and the limitations that are out there, and we, we're all working our best to make things happen as quickly as we can. And so I have I don't know if all of my colleagues like this as well, but I love reports as much as I do, but that's my one chance a month to kind of see what's going on. And we'll get bits and pieces of information here and there, and we'll pick things up, but to me, those monthly reports are a unique opportunity for us to hear directly from the department heads about what they're doing, what's going on, what they accomplished that month, maybe what they're looking forward to in the next month. So I always appreciate a chance to look through those, and I have to discipline myself not to ask too many questions. We'll be here till midnight, but at the same time, I get excited about some of the things that are happening, and I look forward to hearing what department heads feel like what they've accomplished that month to move our city forward, and what plans they have for the next month. And with regard to Public Works, we see those pages and pages and pages of work orders, and so I know there's a lot of stuff that y'all have to keep up with and to act on, and within the limitations of the days of the week and the hours in the day and the budget that we've provided. But that's all I really had to say. I mean, we've got lots of stuff as you mentioned, and we just look forward to working with you on those.
Thank you. I mean, just to say, I came in and I'm doing an assessment, and it's, of course, it's quite a bit. So I'm going to like to turn in reports as well, especially to Mr. Pettis, so he can be aware where the phone calls go first, and he has to report as well. So I'm aware of that, and I'm looking forward to as far as to doing the reports. I'm not doing the assessment, and there's quite a bit, but I'm excited.
So I have anybody else? So I have one of the issues, I think on the last storm, and I think you already talked about, you drove through the city and you saw all that stuff. I think you even started on doing some of the trash stuff that I was concerned about. Because I think the biggest issue we had, and I think it was, if I'm mistaken, I think we got like 4 inches of rain, I believe, the last one. And the issues that killed us on that was, quite frankly, the flow of the water was pretty good. It was just trash in the, accumulated on the inlets. So I think that would, that's one of the things that I'm glad you talked about, having the groups of guys, the groups or teams of people, so that they can get out there and do that. I thank you for the sandbag stuff. I got a call from a couple of commissioners on that, and I appreciate you doing that. So, I think Albert, just for the citizens, right, that may be listening, he already told us about you guys are all dieseled up and gassed up and ready for that. And so we appreciate y'all, being proactive on that. Like I said, that's just the biggest issue for me has been those inlets, and if everybody keeps an eye on those, which you do fairly well. I don't think much has changed on that storm, so, but anyway, thank you for stepping into that right away. Thank you. Anybody else got anything? All right, if not, thank you and welcome aboard, and I understand you got a challenge to stick around a while. So,
That was my initiation.
that's your initiation. A ver si la haces. A ver si aguantas. Well, welcome to Mercedes, sir.
It's our first tropical storm in week 2.
Thank you very much.
Do we have anybody else, any questions for any of the other teams? Does anybody have anything they want to present?
I wanted to make maybe an observation, after 2 months of declining sales tax revenue at the outlet mall, it looks like we're back in the saddle again. We've recovered from that. I don't know what those 2 months were, maybe it was just too hot, because I know I was out there and it was real hot, didn't make you want to stay out there for very long, but the revenue stream we're back at 2023 being higher than 2022, so that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
For our 1%.
Okay, so moving on to, do you have anything for us, Chris? Okay, moving on to executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, section 551.074, personnel matters, section 551.087, economic development, and we're gonna have item A, discussion of the city manager regarding personnel matters. Item B, consultation with attorney regarding update on litigation. And we, have a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Mayor Pro Tem Saldana. All those in favor say aye. Aye, it is 7:25 PM. We are in executive session.
We gotta do it hard, but.
All right, it is now 8:16 PM, and I call this meeting back in regular session. Before I move on to item 12, on open session, I just want to put out a little tidbit that I got from Vern. Apparently, he was watching ESPN, and one of the coaches that went to the Final Four was asked, "What's the toughest team you've played up to now?" And he said, "It's a team from a little town called Mercedes, Texas."
All right.
Vern, thank you for that little tidbit of information. I appreciate it. Moving on to. Oh, yeah, and also the street festival. Please tell as many people as you can out there. We asked the citizens of Mercedes to make sure to put the information out that we've got the street festival coming on September 2nd, right?
Sure.
And it's gonna start at what time? Commissioner, you wanna say hello to somebody?
Sure, so the street festival is on September 2nd, it starts at 3 o'clock, it'll go till 12 midnight. We've got different bands coming in, we've got Alicia C, a new and upcoming Tejano artist. We've got Jay Perez, David Ligarza, Los Musicales, we've got Los Palominos and El Poder del Norte. So we do have some tables available for VIP tables for sale. We just added another row because the first 30 were sold out. So we just added another 10. So come on out and enjoy the festivities.
Yeah, I think the only thing you have to pay for, everything's free except the food. There's plenty of vendors. I've heard about fajitas and taquitos and all kinds of good stuff. I think even menudo and all that. So we invite everybody out there maybe listening, make sure you share that if you can on your Facebook pages and anybody you guys can text. But we're welcoming everybody to the city of Mercedes on September the 2nd. So moving on to open session, I believe we have no action on either item A and B. So without any discussion on that, moving on to item 13, adjournment. Have a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Have a motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned. It is now 8:18 PM.